and today I'm going to be showing you how to set a quilt on point using setting triangles. So I ran out of setting triangles on this project, so I ordered some more fabric. We're going to cut the triangles and we're going to add one to this row. Good morning and welcome to my channel, Melody Joy Quilts. I am your host, Melody Joy, and today we are going to be working on setting a quilt on point using setting triangles. So I've been working on this monster king size quilt, and it's the biggest quilt I've ever made. And I am using a free pattern by Sharon Holland. The pattern is called Charming One. It's a free PDF download. You will need to go to her website. I will link to this pattern in this, the description below. But I am sizing it up, and so I almost have to size it up 4 times because basically the king size quilt is going to be 4 times larger than the throw size that's in the pattern. So I need more fabric to make these setting triangles, and so that is what I ordered. In here is going to be 2 different fabrics that I ordered to help me finish this quilt. And so the fabrics are this is an art gallery fabric, and it is called The Season of Tribute, Listen to Your Heart by Sharon Holland. And that's actually the same person who made this pattern. And it is, it says it's 100% premium cotton. It is so soft, beautiful. I'm gonna cut my setting triangles out of this fabric, so I need to iron it. It's not my pattern, so I'm not gonna tell you the measurements for the setting triangles, but I will tell you, if you go download it, it has all the instructions inside the pattern. It has the instructions inside the pattern for cutting your setting triangles. And then I'm gonna show you how I lay my rows out and how I actually add my setting triangles. This fabric is for the binding. And so stripy binding is so pretty. And so this is what the material that we're gonna use for the setting triangles. And then this is the material we're gonna use for the binding on this quilt. So I'm gonna set this one aside for right now because I'm not working on the binding today. I still have to finish. There's several steps to go before we get to binding. I'm still working on finishing piecing my quilt, and probably, I can see it over there on my design wall. It's probably about 65% done with the top being pieced. So I'm gonna work on the setting triangles and finish out all my rows and get the top pieced. Then, before I do the binding, you have to make your quilt sandwich with your batting and your backing. Then I need to quilt it, which I'll be quilting it right here. And that's gonna take a while because it's so large. And then I will get to binding. So this is just gonna be set aside for right now. We will work on that later. But first, what I'm gonna do right now is go ahead and iron this fabric so that I can work on cutting out my setting triangles. So I'm just gonna give this a good press. It didn't come out of the package too terribly wrinkled, but there are some lines, so we're gonna get this ironed up. I feel like you can see the brain smoke coming off my head as I am looking at this. I have already cut a whole bunch of these triangles, but that was about a week ago. And clearly I have forgotten the method. And so I'm looking at the pattern. I'm reading it again multiple times because before I cut into this beautiful fabric, I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing. And this fabric is from a line that's not currently out. So I was only able to order another 0.75 yards of it. So the nerves of cutting a fabric that you must have to finish a quilt when you know you probably cannot get more of it, or it's going to be very hard to get more of it. Measure twice, cut once has never been more true than when you're working with a hard to get fabric. Different prints for your setting triangles, but I'm trying to keep mine very consistent because the inside of the quilt is very scrappy. So once you have your squares cut out, you're gonna cut it on the diagonal both ways. So you're gonna end up with 4 setting triangles from each square. Again, measure twice, cut once, take your time. When you're cutting something that needs to be this precise, there's no point in rushing. Just take your time. And I also will only cut fabric usually when everyone in my house is asleep, because you do not want to be distracted, especially if your measurements go to 1/8 of an inch. You just want no distractions. So you can see here that these are squares and not diamonds, but in the pattern, it appears as though it's all diamonds. This is achieved by turning all of the squares on point. So right now, this is squares, but it's actually gonna be in the quilt like this on the diagonal. And we achieve that with the setting triangles. So the triangles that you just cut, we're gonna use them in here. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna make a row here. So this is going in. So if this is the bottom of my row, this is going like this triangle is being set in here. So all I'm gonna do is, I like to get everything laid out how it's gonna go and make sure I have it the direction I want it to go. I'm gonna take this setting triangle and I'm gonna fold it up here. So you line it up like this, okay? This is how we're gonna line it up. And then, like so, okay? I'm gonna sew down this row. Sometimes it wants to slip on you, but just line it back up again. So now you should have something that looks like this, okay? It's gonna go into your quilt this way. It's not gonna go in squared up like this. This is actually the straight line, and you turn your block like this. And that's what creates all of these squares become your diamonds. These setting triangles are the secret to that. So if this was as long as I wanted this row, I would do the same thing on this side, turning it the other way, this way. And then it would fold here, and I would sew along here. But actually this is going into a longer row, so I'm not gonna do that. But I am gonna just bring a piece over here and show you. So here, I just wanna show you how that piece fits into the quilt. So it's gonna fit into that row there. And when you step back, this is how big this thing is getting. This quilt is getting massive, but the technique is the same as far as adding in your setting triangles. Here I'm just zooming in so you can see how that's looking. I haven't sewn that row on yet, but aren't all these prints just darling? Look at the little fox. He's my favorite.